Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and people at home. It really is a great pleasure for me to have the opportunity to teach you today various aspects on how to make it musical. I intend to show and explain various different ideas how we can create actions through the basic grounding and technique, and therefore develop body actions and movements and show musicality. I think once we have learned how to use a technique to develop our shapes and our movements, then we can start to encourage more bodily usage, more body timing. I think certain people think of timing as just the feet, where really in the swing dances in particular, we're thinking of timing the body and letting the feet really, once they're technically adapt, take care of themselves. So we're going to talk basically about the waltz today, and I'd like to invite a few people onto the floor to go through a couple of ideas that I've got to explain the priorities in producing the perfect magical look, and also then through the technique producing wonderful musicality. The music in ballroom dancing is so wonderful, and I think sometimes we just ignore it. We know the steps, we move to the music, but we don't feel the music. I think we're a little better off than the Latin counterparts because we have bodily contact, maybe, hopefully, 100% of the time. So therefore we can use our bodies as a man to develop the lady's posture and develop our own posture through that technique. So we're going to continue through first showing how using the correct character of each dance can provide musicality. For example, in the waltz we have rise and fall. How do we create the rise? How do we create the lowering? And when we're doing that, how do we fill our bodies with music, and how do we transfer as a man the body weight through to the girl? In the slow foxtrot, we skim across the floor, still really feeling that the character of that action is still coming out of the music. We want to fulfill every beat, every millionth of a beat of every bar. In the tango, we have the strong leg and foot action to create the characterization of the passion, the power, and the stillness of the tango. In quick-step, I think the quick-step character is slightly being lost at the moment because of the speed of the dance. I think people think the music is fast, the actions are fast, and we end up on the wrong foot. We're chasing the music, therefore, and then we have a hurried look, a look which maybe is difficult. I think in quick-step it's important to have a look of ease. The Viennese waltz, of course, speaks for itself with the character of the rotations, but therefore the musicality in the foot changes, the musicality of the body actions, and when to turn is very important. So we'll start with a look at some waltz, and if I could invite various people up onto the floor. Thank you. Now, the first thing we need to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, is balance, because if we don't have the correct balance between ourselves and our partners, we can't produce musicality. And of course, there's only a certain amount of magic you can produce by yourself, isn't that so? If you have a beautiful woman in front of you, you want to produce the shape and the magic through your action and your musicality. So balance, first of all. It's definitely possible not to be vertical. We can stand like this, we can stand like that, we can break dance like Marat was doing. But what I would like to make very, very strong point about here is that we need to be over our feet. So the first thing, we can all just stand like that, make a bit of space between you all, put your feet together. One thing to remember in ballroom dancing is we never straighten our legs. We have our legs softening at all times. I think that's possibly more easy for the ladies because of being in higher heels, but the men, don't stand to attention. This is about being flexible. We want to portray our body movement to produce shape in the lady. If you have stiff legs, the only connection you get is in the chest. Then the arms are too fixed and too set. So just soften your legs, put your knees together, nice and smartly with the feet together. Good. Now just let your arms just relax in front of you. And just take your arms out to the side. Be careful you don't punch anybody, unless you really don't like them, and then hit them hard. So just drop your arms again. Make sure when you drop them that your arms hang in front of your body, not by your sides. Don't fly away from me, will you? Now, just put your arms now into a position for the men and a position for the ladies that you feel is comfortable and perfect. Not bad. You all look a little bit like Taylor's dummies, though, don't you? But if you stand by yourself, relax for a second, you will do that. We want to produce the perfect connections to your partner. We want to produce the perfect balance.